Yesterday's price is not today's price.
What's going on, everybody? What's up out there? Welcome to another FOC Top 10 Countdown. I'm your host, J-Dub, and it is hot as hell's balls. No, it's like seriously hot. I got on this. I got a wet towel. It's like 108 degrees here in Texas every day for the entire summer. Like, this is desert weather. I haven't been this hot. I don't remember last time I was this hot. I think maybe Iraq. I was in Iraq for like a year. I think the wet ball temperature got up to like 120 or some insane heat. But yeah, if you live in the what they call the heat dome, like Southwest America or Arizona, New Mexico, dude, it's been like triple digits since June. And here in Texas, it hasn't rained too much, so we're kind of conserving water, like try not to swallow too much spit at once. You might need to use that spit later. But anyway, if you're joining us live, welcome. Anyone who's here live in the comments section, you know, I call that, what do I call that, folks? Hashtag Trench Gang, Trench Mob. Oh, snap. Yo, what's up, man? Hey, what did it say? What? Oh, of course. Planet Arizona's in Arizona at 108 feel. I'll raise you 7 degrees. Dude, I feel like at some point, once you hit 105, maybe that 10-degree difference, can you even feel the difference? I don't know, man. I hope not, because, yeah, it is. So you go outside to do something, and, like, standing in the shade doesn't really matter. It's just the difference between direct radiation or not. You know, like the radiation's like still pulsating. You know what? I've already talked too much. I'm dehydrating. 1 second. Archer moment. Oh, dear God. It's like, this is basically a cup full of ice that I just let melt and turn into water. Whew. Okay. So, yeah, tonight is a very big show, massive list. I don't know if it's going to be like the greatest list ever, but I think it's pretty close. But before we do that, happy New Comic Book Day to everybody. Always do the FOC list the day after Wednesday. So it's like the tradition that Wednesday is New Comic Book Day. We all go out and get our little grubby hands on our new books, you know. And then like the following day on a Thursday, we just dive right into FOC and start looking forward to all the books that's coming out on the final order cutoff. Final order cutoff is the last day that shops can put into order to guarantee, or at least close to guarantee, books that you can get. I always recommend when I do my show to put in your orders on Friday or Saturday. That's why I do this show on a Thursday, so you have time to put in your orders tonight or tomorrow, Friday, have it in by Saturday. Universally, the final order cutoff day is Sunday and Monday, but I'm like, why take that chance? Put it in on Saturday. We learned that lesson way back at the beginning of the year with Spider-Man 7. I did not wait for the official FOC date because by then most of the orders were already sold out. So I'm just like, why not go ahead and put your orders in ASAP? I think there's maybe two books this week you might want to go ahead and order. Actually, there's one book this week. I promise you should order it. It could already be too late. But you definitely, after you see, that book and that book. So there's definitely two books. If you really want them and you want to get them at a decent price, I suggest that you put the order in right away. And I'm curious If you think you know which book is going to be number one tonight, drop it in the comment section. Who remembers last week's number one? It was totally left field, and no one guessed it. I did a challenge to do a giveaway, but I just think it's fun to kind of see like what you guys think number one is. And you guys know me. If you watch my show, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I have kind of a thing where I kind of go out there sometimes with the number one picks. They're not as obvious as you guys think. Oh, it's starting to blow up. Ed, you said it's not that bad here in Orlando. Yeah, I don't think you guys are in the heat dome down there. I think it's just regular Florida hot. Whew, in Orlando. And yeah, plenty Phoenix, Arizona, East Valley. Yeah, man. Dude, it's crazy hot. I tell you what is hot. I'm gonna go real quick, show you guys some of the books I picked up. So one of them from the previous FOC show was this one right here. All right. Strange Academy featuring Miles Morales. Strange Academy is starting to do team ups. This is the 1:25 ratio variant. This was one of my top 10 picks. I got it very near ratio price, so I got it at a decent price. This particular issue actually features a brand new villain. I think the villain in this issue is probably more compelling than what's his name, Gaslamp or Gaslamp in the original series. The new villain featured in here, he's pretty yeah, he's got kind of a Faustian appeal to him. I kind of like that, really devilish appeal. So new villain debuts here in this one here. I didn't pick up a lot of books, but the only other one that I picked up that I really cared about to grab from my list was Captain Marvel, Dark Tempest #2. This is the beautiful Rose Besh variant. Absolutely gorgeous cover featuring Photon. Amazing cover. Great story. If you've been following me on Instagram, I've been telling you guys, do not sleep on this book. And we'll talk more about that in terms of sleeper keys. And I got a couple more here, but we will not reveal those just yet. And here was my other favorite that I pre-ordered, this Rose Besh Beauty. That is absolutely stunning. And I think you guys remember I featured this one in a previous FOC about a month ago. This was one of my hot cover picks, Captain Marvel Dark Tempest. You guys already know. You've been following me now for over a year. You know Rose Besh brings the heat. I love me some Rose Besh, and she will always make this list as long as she keeps dropping heat. So that one as well. Yeah, I got a new feature, so strap yourselves in. We're going to do this real quick. And I said, Rose started selling her. Yeah, I noticed that. She's actually starting to sell like art prints, which is very cool. She's selling art prints. I want to see Rose Besh in person, try to catch her at one of these conventions and get her to sign my chest. Yeah, that's what I want. So we'll see if I can make that happen. Yeah, so let's do this new feature. If you guys been following me on Instagram, this is a feature that you might be familiar with, but we are going to debut it tonight, live. We're going to do a live debut. Before that, we're going to have a guest appearance by the one and only Dr. Muscles, aka Dr. Paul, the comic book sorcerer supreme. He's going to stop in and share some stuff with us. But before we get to that, all right, we got a brand new feature that we're going to do live right now, and it's called my comic book heat check. Yeah, that's not a surprise. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen me do comic book heat checks before. But this one, now I decided let's have some fun and let's do them live on YouTube. So here we go. Let's get started with the first comic book heat check starting right now. And this will reveal, so we do a FOC list. Now we're going to do heat checks, which actually reveals books that have already come out. All right. They probably haven't blown up yet. So let's take a look at some right now. I love that. So yeah, heat checks are basically books that haven't blown up quite yet. 1 flame, worth the look. 2, solid pick. 3, must have. Let's check out that list. Okay, first up, number 1, Superman Lost, number 5. Great story. Introduces a brand new Green Lantern. She doesn't even know she's a Green Lantern. It's bugged out. Number 2, Superman Annual. Read this. Metropolis has a lot of secrets. The biggest one is revealed on the final page. Of course, Dark Tempest, I've been talking about this, introduces 2 key new characters, actually 3. Sleeper hit, folks. Number 1 still on the shelf. Number 2 just came out. Grab them. All right. I grade this one 2 flames, solid pick. Finally, get this Blade JTC, brand new supernatural villain, and Blade gets a new ally, 1 flame. So yeah, man, there you have it. That's my comic book heat check right there. All of those books I feel like are sleeper hits. And the only reason I call them sleeper key hits or sleeper keys is because there just hasn't been a lot of buzz around them. But you know how they always say, you got to read the books, right? When you read the books, you can tell like what could be popping. Even if like the major people don't talk about it or the articles don't, discuss it. If you read the books, you'd be like, oh, well, look at that. They introduced a brand new character. I think the first heat check I did was like over a year and a half ago. I want to say it was probably Black Widow number 12, I think it was, maybe 13 or 14. Does anybody remember the introduction of the Living Blade? Remember how badass he was? And like, I'm like, yo, dude, like they just introduced a badass villain. No one's really talking about it. Like the market wasn't quite moving. I actually think I moved the market because I wouldn't shut up about it. All right. And I think the only other heat check I did was, one of the earliest ones was Jabba the Hutt, Bounty Hunters, introduced my favorite brand new Star Wars character. You all know it. Say it together. That's right. Diva Lompop. That got a 3 flame heat check. That is a must have. All right. I've been saying that for 2 years. Jabba the Hutt, Diva Lompop, badass bounty hunter. She's an amazing character. 3 flames, must have. This one right here, I picked this up. Superman Lost. This is a great recommendation. Great story if you're not reading it. I'm not even a Superman fan like that, and I love this story. So you should definitely be reading that right there. Superman Lost, number 5. Clark is stranded like hundreds of light years away from Earth, which is insane. And this actually, not only does it introduce like a brand new Green Lantern, it actually introduces like a new star system, new aliens, great characters. It's actually very funny. It's a very humorous book at times. I feel like the characters that are introduced in this story, even though Superman Lost takes place out of the dawn of DC, these are characters that can easily be developed in the main continuity. So you should definitely check out Superman Lost, especially issue number 5. My recommendation as a heat check, and of course, Captain Marvel, that I won't shut up about it, especially this sick ass, just insanely dope cover. That's a beautiful cover. All right, who else we got? Oh, what's up, Mo? Mo's in the house. What's going on? Hey, man. Before we get into this massive list, and we're really about to jump into it, let's see what the good doctor's up to. I think he should be around. Let's have him on right now. Dr. Paul, what's going on, sir? How you doing? Are you here? Hey, how are you holding up with the Texas heat, by the way?
What's up, J-Dub? How you doing, my man?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Just trying to stay cool, man. I got this wet
Yeah.
house.
I just adjust my lifestyle. I get up early and I'm indoors by 8:30 in the morning, 10:30 at the latest, and try not to go back out if I don't have to.
Yeah. So you
It's
don't
just,
even like, yeah.
it's nuts. But I get outside every morning, but usually, sun up right now is about 6:50 in the morning. I'm up with the sun, man. I'm up before the sun. And I get
Yeah,
out
man.
then. But my garage gym is so hot, but I just insulated the doors. I was working out. It was like 103 in my garage gym, but I
That's no
insulated
way.
the doors and now it's 98 and it feels cool.
That's good. Well, this cup is insulated and it's keeping my ice cool.
There you go.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's hot.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. I didn't even want to get dressed to do the show. Like, this is all you
I
guys
see
get.
that.
You get,
Yeah,
yeah,
man. You
no,
should have let me know. It was shirtless day, man. I would have showed up.
hey man, I might
Ready to
have some
roll.
friends. What? Look, someone nicknamed you Dr. Muscles. How about that?
Right?
I want to say it was Toom. Toom's wacky. He's cool though. Hey, so yo, what do you have for us today?
Oh, yeah. Big stuff
Ooh,
happened on Liberty Hill Comics, man. Lots
talk to
going
me.
down. We're doing some conservations. We launched the Facebook group Comic Book Conservation Community, which is growing leaps and bounds. I'm so pleased with it because we have so many contributors, and it's so collaborative. That makes me happy. So, but
So hang on. You said
we
you have a Facebook group now based on comic book conservation?
Right. So there were a
Wow.
few out there for cleaning and pressing, but there wasn't one specific to conservation. And I thought we needed one. So naturally, I created one. And I'm really pleased that so many people have been contributing to it. And so that's wonderful. But the big news is we blew through our 800 subscriber goal.
Nice.
And I did it actually quicker than I thought I would. And we had like trailing like 5,500 views in the trailing 28 days. Like the channel's really getting a lot of traction. So I figured let's go big and just get us over 1,000. So we're giving this away.
Hey, hello. Look at that beauty there. Is that what I think it is?
Yes, sir. Star Wars #1, the original, the classic, 46 years old now. It's a CGC 7.5 white pages, which, these 50-year-old books, most of them have off-white pages. So it's actually nice to have great page quality. 7.5, that's a respectable grade, good for that book. It's current fair market value right around $250, but peaked at the pandemic just under 500. Record sale on that is $475 in that grade.
Wow.
So I'm excited to give that away. We're excited to welcome some new subscribers and new viewers on the channel. We got a lot going on. I'm conserving a Avengers #1 right now, and as a matter of fact, I have to check my timer. Okay, in 5 minutes, you know that I always have something cooking in the lab, right?
Yeah.
I got my studio, and in 5 minutes, I've actually got a copy of Avengers #1 from 1963, First Avengers, and it's in a chemical bath right now. And in 5 minutes, I have to go take it out. It can't be avoided. So
Okay.
I'll have to excuse myself briefly.
All right. So
So
you have
we've got
you
a
have you have an
series of
Avengers
videos.
#1 in a wet chemical bath right now.
As we're talking, man. There's always something big going on here. There's a whole series of videos on that. I'm doing, I just dropped #3 a couple days ago. We'll be dropping the 4th video in that series soon. And the other thing I got going is I just bought a really big book, J-Dub. It's one
What'd
of
you
the
get?
it's one of the top, I'm not going to tell you, but it's one of the top 5 most important books ever in the history of comic books, including the Golden Age.
Get the F out of here, man.
And I'm going to be opening it on the channel soon. I'm super excited about it. So hopefully that'll be of interest to some of your viewers. But yeah, everybody who's on your channel, I know you have a lot of Star Wars fans. Everybody should come over to Liberty Hill Comics and should subscribe and comment on this video, and you'll get a chance to win this 7.5. One of the things that you and I talked about that not everybody knows is this comic book actually has some scenes that were originally in George Lucas's novel. Can you show the viewers this?
What do you got?
So George Lucas put out this novelization of the movie before the movie. And you see this concept art here. This is by Ralph McQuarrie. And he's the artist that George Lucas hired to do all the concept art. So our comic book here, this Star Wars #1, this actually came out 6 weeks before the movie hit theaters. And it's got some scenes in it that come from this book, but never made it into the movie. And so it actually has some cool lore that, didn't make it into A New Hope. It's really a great book, a classic. And Howard Chaykin, the art is really pretty incredible, especially considering he did this before he saw the movie. He did all this art based just on the Ralph McQuarrie concept art. And I think he did see storyboards. Here's one of those scenes that don't show up in the movie. This is Luke going into Anchorhead and hanging out with Biggs Darklighter.
Biggs Darklighter, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody who's a viewer of this video ought to just jump over to Liberty Hill Comics, subscribe, comment on that video, and they'll be entered to win that 7.5 Star Wars #1 with a fair market value at 50 today. So hopefully everyone will come over. You're going to put a link in the description?
Sure am.
And, hopefully we'll see a bunch of new subscribers, and we're going to go onward and upward to 1,000.
Let me ask you real quick. So the comic book, the Marvel adaptation, is actually the official first appearance of Star Wars following the novel?
I actually am not 100% sure when this novel came out, but one or the other of them. But, the novel, other than the painted cover, right, it just is words, right? There's no other pictures in it.
Right.
So in terms of, and it has Luke, C-3PO, R2, Chewbacca, and Vader on the cover here, the Ralph McQuarrie concept art. So all the rest of the characters, the first time they're seen, it's the first appearance. It's a true first, right? Sometimes we have a movie come out first and then later there's a comic or whatever. But in this instance, the first place you could see those characters was in the comic book 6 weeks before the movie opened. Which is pretty amazing. I missed that. I was a little bit too young to see the movie in theaters, and obviously too young to buy this comic at the time. But I've had a lot of people reach out to me after I put the video up saying, I remember that. I bought that comic off the rack and I read that, and I was like, oh man, I got to go see this movie in 6 weeks, right?
Wow.
Think about that. How incredible would that
right?
be, right?
Yeah, that's insane.
So it's already generated a lot of fun interaction on the website, on the channel. So like I said, looking forward to interacting with lots more subscribers and getting us to the new goal. Excited.
Well, right now you're sitting at 815, so let's see if we can kind of add a handful in the next few days or so, right?
Absolutely. Like I said, everybody that watches this video from now through the FOC cutoff or even after should just jump over there and subscribe. I mean, I don't know who doesn't like free comics that's watching your channel.
I know, right? So hey, do you have to go check out your chemical bath, because I'm about to go ahead and get this top 10 started.
Actually, perfect timing. My timer just went off, so I'll rejoin you in about 5 minutes.
All right, cool, sweet.
All right, talk soon.
All right, guys. There's no special guests, no host, no hip hop talk, no Hollywood personalities. We're about to go ahead and jump into this list. This list is pretty damn juicy this week, I must say. Shout out to anyone who's watching first time. All right. Final order cutoff. If this is your first time watching, all the information will be printed or posted on my Instagram channel. My Instagram is here at the bottom of the screen. at the Bad Boy Nerd. Maybe you've heard of me and this is your first time seeing me, but I'm the guy that posts all of those top 10 lists, FOC top 10 lists. And then I'm also the guy that does like the market updates where I'm all like, this book made all this money, blah, blah, blah. You should have bought it. Yeah, I'm that guy. Because it's kind of true. So, but it's also fun to do these lists. And yeah, man, I know everyone's excited to see what this list has today. So, hell, while Dr. Science is over there checking out his book with all his chemicals and stuff in Dexter's laboratory, let's go ahead and get this one going, starting with, ooh, you know what? No one made a guess of what they think number one is. You guys aren't fun. You guys, like, no, are you like afraid to be wrong? Because, you know, I'm going to pick some crazy, outrageous book. You're like, oh, J-Dub, we're not going to guess anyways because you be picking some crazy books. But no, give it a shot. Because right now, so we're about to start off with the FOC Top 10 list coming in at number 10. All right, so there's a story behind this one. This one was way higher on the list. And then upon further review, I decided, nope, we're going to bump it all the way down. So starting off the list, we have none other than Alligator Loki number 1. Here it is. So Alligator Loki number 1. Here we go. We got our first guess at tonight's number 1. Alligator Loki number 1. As you all know, if you watched Loki on Disney Plus, he was probably the second most popular breakout character outside of Miss Minutes. All right. And a lot of buzz, a lot of fan love. I was very excited when I first learned that this was going to be a book. However, Marvel did it on their online Infinity Comics. So Alligator Loki he's actually already debuted online. I personally don't know which takes precedence. Like, does the market care that a book debuts online first, a character or whatever? The only thing is, Alligator Loki's had like this whole storyline that's already took place online. So I'm not even sure if this book is even like a first appearance, first official comic book appearance. Like, how do you know? Does an online comic book count as a true first appearance compared to print? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Still, it's a dope book. Everyone's going to be excited to see it. So, if you remember, one of my picks earlier this year was another online star by the name of Jeff the Shark. Remember Jeff? Yeah. Jeff the Shark. I picked the Diwali variant, which we see right here with Alligator Loki. Has another Diwali variant. And the Jeff the Shark Diwali variant that I said might be a big one because it was kind of a Jaws homage, whatever. And that book actually doubled in price. People were selling that online for like $10, and I think it still sells for like double the price. So with Alligator Loki, which I'm actually pretty excited about, I'm totally digging the Diwali variant, which is the one you see where he's got like his hammer in his mouth. And then, of course, you can't really go wrong with a Scotty Young. So keep your eyes out for the Scotty Young, but definitely the Diwali variant. I think most shops are going to have those covers in. So you might not have to do too much like elbow work ordering these particular books. Dr. Paul says, got to be in print. Okay, let's see if he's back. Dr. Paul, are you back?
I'm back, man.
All right, good. Yeah, man. Starting off with the bang.
How does this character have his own book? What's going on?
What's going on, dude? Alligator Loki
What adventures is he going on?
Dude, he's awesome. He's awesome. Well, he's like, it's funny. He was one of the coolest variants from the Loki series.
Right. Yeah.
So, You know,
Who
it's
writes this?
interesting because they debut some characters in their Infinity Online uh, comic book series, but I think print's going to cause more waves. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. Oh, and when you say Infinity, now I have a subscription to Marvel. It's called Unlimited, right? Is that what you're talking about? Or is there something else I don't know about?
No, they call it the Infinity Comic Series, and it
Oh,
might be Marvel Unlimited, but they actually call it the Infinity Series.
no, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would agree. I look, he's already been on the small screen, right? He's already been in a streaming show. So he's sort of already had a digital first appearance. So the
right.
paper's the one that matters, I think.
Yeah. Well, paper still, even with people that have subscriptions to Marvel Unlimited, like I'm pretty sure physical books still sell more.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, we got it. Hold on, check this out. John says that he thinks Werewolf by Night. That's a great guess. That's actually a really good guess.
Ah.
Um, yeah, man. I tell you what, a lot. What do you say? Yeah, my guess wasn't top 10 last week. No, it wasn't. At least it didn't make my list. Maybe it made someone else's list, but it didn't
Hmm.
make mine. If you guys remember, last week was Blitmap. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You guys know I am not afraid to take that wild swing. I swing for the fences. All right. Coming in at number 9. This one's a pretty standard. Of course,
Oh yeah, I
of
saw
course,
this.
of course, Star Wars. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Um, I read Dark Droids. If anyone's reading Dark Droids, it's actually a pretty dark story. It's really good, very entertaining. If you're a Star Wars fan, you want the connecting variant, Dr. Paul.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Now I saw
Yeah.
another cover for this book too, didn't I? That was pretty neat.
Well, did you see one of the Darth Vader covers?
I must have. Yeah. I saw another. This is an excellent cover. I like, how we have the whole troop here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, obviously when they're putting energy into variants and producing multiple really cool variants, I think, pay attention. That's a clue. Something's happened in that book and might be one to watch out for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen the completed mural for the connecting covers. Beautiful. You got to have
Yeah.
it. Got to have.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm waiting for the first batch to hit the shelves. So yeah, coming in at number 9, Star Wars once again for all you people out there that give me shit about Star Wars, dude. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Star Wars
Gi-
puts out great books. What are you gonna do?
Give me the cover with IG-88. That was my favorite action figure when I was a kid.
Absolutely. Um, have you been following The Mandalorian? Did you see what they did with the latest
Yeah,
IG?
yeah, of
God, that
course. That
was
was so cool, right?
dude. That was one of my favorite moments just in the history of my life.
Right? Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Grogu taking over and controlling him. Oh man, come
Right?
on,
Yeah.
come on.
No, no, no.
No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes,
That was
yeah, dude.
great.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
that was my
excited. I'm
favorite.
starting to sweat because it's so hot. All right, coming in at number 8. I am a huge fan. This is not a surprise. I think just by this buildup, you guys already know. I've said it time and time again. Dr. Paul, you already know. If she puts out a cover, 9 times out of 10, it's going to crack my FOC list. She's doing a series of DC covers, like a whole series all across all the different books. And it starts with this one right here, coming in at number 8. We have Rose Besh,
Oh man.
Batman 137. This is one of many Rose Besh variants.
Wow. And you just showed two amazing ones in your pre-show.
Yes,
What is this
yes.
is like Rose Besh doing her best Scotty Young.
I mean, her energy. So last week
Wow.
was like the hip hop bonanza show. I'm a huge fan of graffiti art. I
Yeah.
just love her graffiti type of artwork. I can't help it.
I do too.
Oh,
Love
as
this.
a matter of
Who's the colorist? Because the color here is a big part of the impact of this.
yeah, that's a good question. I actually thought I just thought she did her own colors.
She probably does. She probably does.
Yeah.
But man,
I
it's a huge
picture
part of the impact.
Yeah, man. I picture Rose Besh pulling out a spray can and just throwing up some graffiti and then turning it in as a cover.
Yeah.
Like, I got to tell you, I've seen some of the greatest graffiti art around the world in different countries. Some of the best I've saw was like in France and in Frankfurt, Germany.
They got crazy culture there. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord, man. If I saw this tag on the side of a building, I would lose my freaking mind. Right. It would be crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you going to have her spray paint your chest?
Spray paint lasts longer. So hopefully she's got, some kind of
maybe
airbrush or something. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just going to go and just like, do your worst, Rose.
Right.
Yeah, it is dope. It is dope. Story-wise, Batman and Catwoman are going at it again, blah, blah, blah. But Rose Besh, dude.
And this is, it's worth saying again, right? So this is a variant cover that has the really nice DC cover stock. It's got the minimal trade dress. These are really the most beautiful comics being produced right now, at least in mass.
Dr. Paul, you like that minimum trade dress, don't you?
I really do, but I don't like the full virgin covers because I don't know what the hell it is sometimes. And then you got to pull it out. And then they also don't even put an indicia in the front anymore. You got to flip through the entire book to find the damn indicia now. So I don't like that. I don't
know why they started doing that, because it's a pain in the butt for retailers because they got to pull the book out if it's already bagged.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Flip it over, scan the barcode, and then put it back in.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I really do like the minimal trade dress because it really allows them to highlight the art, but we still know what the book is.
Hey, Ed, check out Ed. Ed said he knows about that life, man. Yeah. NYC, go tagging those trains, baby. Woo! Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a major railroad that cuts through Austin, and those trains, whenever I can, I pull out my phone and take pictures of that artwork. Yeah. All right. Check it out. Number 7 on Bad Boy Nerds FOC Top 10 list. This is a pretty good key. As a matter of fact, JT, if you're watching, this one is for you, baby boy. Yeah. Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 10. Character design variant. This is a new speedster named Hightail. I love that name. I know, right? Yeah.
That's a unique look.
That is a very cool look. So she's on the main cover, but this is her own cover. I went with the own cover. I'm going to go ahead and pre-order the design variant or solo variant, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, but Miles he's had his hands full, man, with this new story arc.
Lots going on in that book.
First, he tangled with Scorpion, and then immediately after that, Hobgoblin, and now he's got and then they had the debut of what's that girl's name? Frenzy, or what's her name? It's not Frenzy. Anyway, they're already introducing brand new people for him to tangle with. This one is a new speedster named Hightail, and she looks very cool. So yeah,
like the design.
Yeah. Rabble. That's her name, Rabble. So yeah, the previous new character was Rabble. Pretty sure. This one's Hightail. I like the design. I like the implications that Miles has to deal with a speedster. So it's going to be speed versus agility. That's what I'm looking forward to. Mm-hmm. It's either Rumble, Rabble, or Ramble. One of those two. One of those three. But hey, anytime you have a first appearance, it's always more likely he's going to crack the top 10. So coming in at number 7.
Especially a new rogue from a major hero.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to be honest, Miles has a really good rogues gallery building up. Absolutely.
It's already building a really good one, right? I mean, which is great because, Spider-Man had a top rogues gallery. And so to to see that sort of expanded on in the next generation is great.
Yeah, man. So, yo, check it out. So far we've had 10, 9, 8, 7, and we already introduced some pretty dope keys with brand new characters. Number 6, guys, you're not ready for this. Rumbles, Transformers, right?
No,
Something like that. All right, so coming in at number 6, Dr. Paul. Guys in the comment section, Trench Gang. Brand new book.
Oh.
Zombie book.
Wow.
Ablaze Comics. I did a lot of reading up on this one. I first saw it. There was an article in the previews like 2 months ago. I read the entire article because I read a lot. I like what this guy's trying to do. So what he's trying to do is he's really trying to get the literal effects of a zombie apocalypse. And he said he wants to tie in historical, kind of like in historical context of where a zombie apocalypse would have derived from. To me, it feels like a mix, and this is just my first impression. It feels like a mix of Philadelphia and Walking Dead, which I'm on board for that. So hopefully this turns out good. What do you think about this? A new apocalyptic book?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, this I'm all about it.
Also looks like it's for discretion in terms of it looks a little gory too. So I guess it's gonna be pretty like real.
Yeah, that's his thing. He really wants to go for a very realistic appeal to it. As a matter of fact, Tyler Kirkham does all the covers. So
wow.
Oh yeah.
I love the very detailed art. Yeah.
Yeah, so the artist here, let's go ahead and pull that page up because this is important. This art is pretty awesome. Check this out, man. Check this out. This guy, the artist for this, Ryan Benjamin, he's good. He's really good. Like you said, highly detailed artwork. This guy right here, he's the artist behind it. Mm-hmm. He's done Suicide Squad. He did Grifter. Mm-hmm. So yeah, really looking forward to this. Again, Kirkham does all the covers. You got your Virgin variant. You know, I was going to pick the 1 in 10 Virgin variant, but I remember something you said about a lot of people really go after that main cover even more so than the Virgin variant. So this one has a 1 in 5 and a 1 in 10. So it kind of indicates it's probably going to be a low print run, maybe 3,000, 4,000 total.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So, like what they call a cheap option, meaning, could really take off, and it'd be the entry fee here. The ante is pretty cheap relative to where this book could go. Right.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And the thing about these indie books, like they could be great stories that fly under the radar. Like I always say, you want to get in on the ground floor.
You do.
Because these first prints, once they're gone, they're gone.
Yep.
Hard to get a hold of. And that's why this one makes the list.
Well, cool. We appreciate you bringing us new stuff that we're not necessarily going to bump into everywhere else. That's why you put all that work into the list, man.
With that being said, number 5 fits right into what you just said. Now, this one was actually number 2, I think. But the top 4 are so dope, it actually got bumped down. So coming in at number 5, we have a new horror series called Kill Your Darlings from Image Comics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it sounds as bloody as it looks. Again, whoa. I love a good bloody cover. That's cover B, bloody. But as you said, the main cover is always the play. So make sure you get the main cover. Pre-order the blood.
I like both these, but that B that's haunting. I like that.
I know, right?
I like them both.
Dude.
Actually, I like this sort of the use of the negative space on the cover A too.
Yeah, no, I like that as well. I mean, anytime there's children and monster and blood, I'm kind of sick like that. I'm going to check that book out.
He's like, I'm in.
Something's killing the children. Like literally, something is killing the children. Literally rips children apart on page.
Yikes.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like they set the standard for
Right.
that,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, this can be done. Okay, let's do that.
Right.
Yeah, so kill your
Comics
darlings,
Code
folks,
died a while back.
and good riddance, right?
Right. Yeah, well, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Though I still, my main interest is still in the superhero books. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, we don't need censorship.
I'm kind of half and half. I'm half superheroes, half
Yeah.
independents. I'm really big on Scout Comics. Do you consider Boom Comics independent anymore?
Honestly, I
Boom
consider
Studios.
everything other than DC and Marvel to be indies. I still think of Image and Dark Horse as indies myself. I mean, but that may not be the right way to think about the world anymore.
No, nah, man. Image has like a 15% market share. That's pretty big.
Yeah, true.
Come
But
on, man. Spawn, man. Come on. Spawn itself.
yeah.
Well, yeah, then again, you could be right. Who knows? You know, between Spawn, Invincible, and Walking Dead, I think they made a sizable dent in the industry.
So when did they launch? 90?
91, 92,
Something like that.
somewhere around
So
there.
they also been around 30 years. Yeah. But
Yeah, they had
I
the
don't know,
30th
like
anniversary.
even like when we were kids, the Charlton comics were out. They were already 40 years old by then. Did you think of them as mainstream, or was that an independent? Like again, for me, I've always thought of everything other than the big two as indies. But there's
Right.
even still a lot of stratification within there, obviously, right? And
Yeah.
the ones that have a track record, like Dark Horse is even older than Image, right? So the ones that have
Yeah.
a track record, um, obviously, I don't treat them the same as a small print that's, just been out less than 5 years and only has a couple books and only
Right.
prints a few thousand.
Right.
But in my mind, I still sort of, it's still just two main categories for me. But
All right, folks. Things are about to heat up really big starting right now. Okay, guys, this is where you really need to be paying attention to this list. All right. And go ahead and get your wallets out because coming in at number 4 is some serious heat. Dude. Obi-Wan number 1, the show adaptation. Yes, we get now third sister Reva. She already made a
Right.
cover. But man, oh man, this cover right here is killer.
Wow.
Yes. So this is her official comic book first appearance. All right. Everyone's excited about that. I particularly like this 1:25 ratio variant. I will be ordering as many copies as I can get for a good price.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So this must
Right?
be set in time approximately the last season of Obi-Wan for Disney Plus
Yeah.
in terms of the timeline, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man. That's incredible.
Oh man. I love this cover. I love looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. 1:25 variant. I think this is the play. The main cover is great, but this one right here, I feel like anyone who's a fan, and there are a lot of Star Wars fans, I feel like this is the one that they're going to gobble up and pre-order like ASAP. So I'm going to put my order in. I'm going to try to find this obviously close to ratio, but
Right.
don't wait for your shops. You know what shops do? I literally, Dr. Paul, literally watched a guy with his laptop checking eBay to price his books.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
I actually know a shop that does that, but what they do is they do that just for a heat check because they kind of don't want to get ripped off. But then they discount it a little below that. So you're still getting a great deal because you're not paying for shipping. You get to see the book. You don't have to worry about how many spine ticks it has. And they'll knock a couple bucks below whatever the going rate is. And I'm comfortable with that. I think that's fair for both the buyer and the seller. But it's like the age-old books that aren't marked, and then they check them at the counter, which is Yeah, it's not where you want to be if you're a picker, right? It's the worst.
Listen, if I'm ever a shop owner, I solemnly, is it right hand or left hand? Which hand do you solemnly swear with? Right
Right
hand?
hand. Yeah, yeah.
All right. I solemnly swear I will not be that shop owner. I won't do
There
that.
you go.
Only
He's
because
on
I'm the one
record.
making the list. So obviously I'm not. Yeah. All right.
That's great.
You guys know. All right. The top three are bangers. You know what? Maybe
Speaking of
number four. What?
speaking of Obi-Wan, slight
What?
aside, you know
What's
what's
up?
cool is that Star Wars #1 book from 1977.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's on the cover prominently, but not in the book. His first appearance in book is in issue #2.
Oh.
Yeah, but here he is
Wow.
on the cover right next to Luke.
Yep.
Kind of cool. That's one of the
So-
first cover appearances that occurs before their first in-story appearance.
Check you out with the Star Wars history. You're on the right show for that. That's good stuff.
Obi-Wan's he's incredible. That
Yeah.
character.
Coming in number 3. If you're just now joining, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I'll be putting out the full list tomorrow on my Instagram, complete with all the notes and the full ranking. But if you're here, number 3, folks, I'm telling you, Dr. Muscles, I'm telling everyone, I've seen this happen before. It's probably going to happen again. Captain Marvel, Dark Tempest, number 3, coming in at number 3. So,
Wow.
Dr. Paul, what are we looking at here? What we
E12.
are?
I mean,
Yeah,
looks like Carol Danvers. I don't know beyond that.
Exactly. And unless you're a fan of the new Captain Marvel, like I actually am, okay, this book introduced several new characters in issue #1, including these kids that you see on the cover, all right, plus another key character, plus another brand new villain. And I've been going on and on about this, like, hey guys, they're sliding in some pretty cool ideas in Dark Tempest, and it's actually a really good story. It really is, and I just don't see too many other people talking about it.
Yeah, you know what? We got that first trailer for Marvels, and I think there were some groans in the audience. But we've got a much more in-depth trailer now that shows that it's not just a bunch of jokes, that there's a real story here with real conflict. I'm excited about Marvels. I'm very excited about Marvels. I like all 3 of those characters, love them. And I mean, I've been a big Carol Danvers fan since way back, when she lost all her powers to Rogue, and then she was reborn as Binary. And all that, right? Now, one of the things that's interesting to me is, do you remember the period when Captain Marvel, the original Captain, well, it's not even the original Captain Marvel, because I guess that was Shazam, but the original Captain Marvel under the Marvel imprint. Remember when he had the Nega bands and he shared space with Rick Jones, and he would tap them together?
I used to have that whole run, the old school run. Well, not the whole run, but most of it.
I mean, this reminds me of the Nega bands, probably unrelated, but pretty cool.
No,
that'd be dope if it was a callback.
You're actually very close to that. I'm not going to give away the story because I encourage people to read it.
Yeah.
But I was telling JT Comics on Instagram, I said, what really stood out for me is that they introduced these young black kids who I called them her toughest assignment, because they were really giving her shit. Like, they were matching her attitude for attitude. And these were like some inner city kids. And she got them pulled into her mess. And the whole time, they're just like talking shit the entire time. It's actually really funny and entertaining. But apparently in this issue 3, they get powered up. So whether they become permanently superpowered, or we'll see what happens.
Or bonded somehow with the Negaband type concept. That would be
there's one other element to the storyline where there's like this brand new villain who's extremely powerful, who teams up with Nitro, and she like overpowers Nitro. So it's a
Wow.
really good storyline. And, I just recognize it as something. It's like, okay, they're not making a big deal about it. It doesn't mean it's not a key issue.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do a little bit of Ms. Marvel history here
Have at it.
for you and your channel? So you know that Avengers number 200, she left the team after bearing the child of Marcus, right?
All right.
That was a big issue. And then Avengers Annual number 10, Chris Claremont felt that she was basically raped and the team did nothing about it.
Yikes.
So he was angry about that and wanted to basically clean that up. And he did Avengers Annual number 10, which is the greatest Avengers Annual ever, introduces Rogue.
Rogue.
But do you know she stands before the Avengers powerless and she dresses them all down, and Cap and Thor are sitting there just basically being dressed down by Carol Danvers, and they just shut the hell up because they sort of realize they're wrong. And then Thor, gets his thunder up a little bit, and he's like, "Forsooth, woman, don't talk to me this way." And she just slaps him.
Wow.
Powerless Carol Danvers just slaps him across the face and shuts him up.
Carol's powers was never about the Kree powers, more about her inner strength.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you haven't read Avengers 10 and you're a fan of Captain Marvel, you need to go back and read Avengers issue 200 first, and then read Avengers 10. Unreal
Avengers
stuff.
10, that's one of my favorite. Is that Bronze Age or early Copper?
Copper.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I've owned multiples of that.
Actually, you know what? Now that I say it out loud, it really is right on the edge, right? Maybe it is
it's
late
like
bronze.
80, maybe 1980, 81, somewhere like that.
82, and then maybe Copper doesn't start officially till 84. So maybe it actually is
Right.
late bronze. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And Michael Golden interior art, unreal. Best art in any Avengers Annual as well ever. So yeah. Definitely one of my top 10 favorite comic books of all time, Avengers Annual number 10.
And it's one of those classic covers we talked about where like they give you inside information of the story, like dialogue and all of that.
But the cover's my least favorite part about the book, but yes.
All right, folks. Coming in at number 2. You guys know me. I'm always bringing some stuff that you aren't ready for. And number 2 is no exception. Archie Sabrina, the Teenage Witch Annual Spectacular.
Wow.
So, Dr. Paul, earlier this year, I had a Archie book up, and it was the debut of Moonstone, Amber Moonstone,
new character,
or Nightshade, or something like that. Yeah. And I was basically like, look, guys, a lot
Amber
of these.
Nightstone.
Yeah. Thank you. Jesus Christ. So I was like, Archie has a very strong following, and their key issues with their debut characters, people really, like the fans really take that to heart.
Yeah.
It doesn't have large print runs. So these are good long-term holds because a lot of Archie properties translate to their live action shows and what other animated series or whatever they do. So I always have mine.
Yeah, Archie's introduced in the Golden Age, 1940 or 1941 in Pep Comics. He's not going anywhere, people.
No.
Right? The franchise is huge. Even if these print runs are low today, it's a huge franchise. Riverdale's in its 7th season. I've actually been hunting a nice copy of Cheryl Blossom's first appearance.
Yeah, didn't you post about that?
I recently did a video where I got one in actually that was kind of a low mid grade that I thought had a lot of potential to clean and press. And unfortunately I got it in and it had tape on it. So actually I did a whole video. It turned, lemons into lemonade. I did a whole video on what to do if that happens to you. And the seller was super cool. Issued me a full refund, with an apology. So I did a whole video on it, but that means I'm still on the hunt for that book, man.
All right. Well, guys, you heard it here. He's looking for that first, what's her name? Cheryl Cherry, whatever.
Cheryl Blossom. It's Betty and Veronica, number 320 from October 1982, baby.
Damn. All right, man. Well, look, the Archie train doesn't stop. The key characters keep coming out. This
Right.
one introduces more like witches, which
Mm-hmm.
the supernatural, man. You can never sleep on supernatural elements. It's
Mm-mm.
very popular even among the Archie canon. So,
Yeah.
all right. So two more things I want to say about Archie books that I've noticed, and I got quite a few keys like recently in the past couple of years. So this is a couple things, folks. I'm telling you, J-Dub, Bad Boy Nerd. I'm telling you now. They don't have big print runs, but also they get damaged. These books,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to get damaged. So sometimes the pre-orders are the ones that get picked first because they like to fulfill their orders first. So you're usually going to get the best copies that they have available. I've had that happen a couple of times where the shelf copies were kind of dented, but
Mm-hmm.
my copies that I got were like 9.6, 9.8, and
Yeah.
that's how they treat them. And
Yeah.
yeah, when you go over, a lot of Archie goes over into their own section,
Oh
like
yeah.
usually the kids section,
With the other
and they
kid
get
stuff.
yeah, they get grabbed and stuff. But if it's a key
Yeah.
book, I mean, these books sell for like $10, $12 when they have key moments like this. So yeah,
Yeah. Very cool. Love this pick.
good. Thank you. Number two. And with that being said, uh, John, are you still here? John DeBerry, are you still in the house? Yeah. So number one, I gotta say, when I saw this book, I was so excited. And then they just dropped this cover the other day. And I said, yep, that's number one right there. And John nailed it. Man, oh man.
Woo!
Bruh. Werewolf by Night, Bill Sienkiewicz. Dude, he's been on a roll lately.
Yeah, well, he's
Come on.
revisiting the character that kind of put him on the map in a lot of ways, and he's still got it, doesn't he? I think
Yeah,
John. Oh, props to John for guessing the book, but he was looking for the Hughes variant.
which is right there. I already had
Yeah,
that pick, so good job, man.
yeah, yeah.
That was like, it's like pick 1A and pick 1B. Absolutely.
Wow, nailed it.
So, oh, yeah, dude. Sienkiewicz, like, I don't know, like, what is it going on recently? Like, he's really been on a roll with the covers.
Yeah,
He
I
said,
told you
yeah.
I was gonna. I told you I was gonna show off my New Mutants number 18 that he signed, where his signature is literally part of the art. It's almost his signature is almost like a remark. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to
That,
remind
no,
me
that,
to pull that out and show it off
all right, cool. Pull it out,
next time you
man.
have a Sienkiewicz book.
Yeah.
It's in the vault. I gotta dig it out. But next time
So,
you have a Sienkiewicz book, give me a heads up and I'll show that off. And meeting him, he's so humble, he's so nice, he was
yeah,
gracious. He signed a bunch of books for me. It was a real treat. It was just a great guy.
he is. And uh, he was one of my earliest comic book influences because some of the earliest books I got into were mutant based. So
Mhm.
those early New Mutants, including I want to say he did some Fall of the Mutants, New
Mhm.
Mutant books. The artwork, dude, like the way he would draw Warlock. Oh man, he just made him look
The
so freaky and so
It was
alien. Like he
so
defined.
crazy.
Well, he created Warlock, so yeah,
He completely did. Yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
I think he did the cover to, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he do the cover to X-Men Annual 8? And he did a few other mutant books around that time. He also was the artist for Dazzler for a little while. He did some incredible
Hey,
covers for that book.
yeah, good job there, Ed. Man, he said order without. Dude, that's usually a very smart play. That goes back to the Venom verse. Oh God, can't say his name. Okizawa. I ordered that before the cover came out, and we already know how that went. I don't even want to say what I paid. It's almost embarrassingly how less I paid for it. But yeah, no, this, as soon as the show ends, I'm actually going to order multiples of that. That's just freaking beautiful. Yeah, the Hughes, can I
So
go
tell us
ahead? You
about
talk.
this. Yeah, tell us
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
Hughes variant. Is this a new character or what's going on here?
So, basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone listening.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
I
This
see
is
who it
like,
is now.
yeah, this is like a team up of the new Werewolf by Night with Elsa Bloodstone.
Yeah. I don't always
That's
recognize her as a redhead.
yeah, yeah. No, and they really need to correct that in upcoming episodes.
I mean, I don't know, whatever. If she's a redhead,
No, I
she's a
need her to
redhead.
be a dazzling redhead. I need that.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, this is cover A. Look at that.
That's also incredible.
I mean,
Wait,
I'll be put
does this
what?
mean that we missed an opportunity to have a Sienkiewicz Elsa? What? That would be crazy.
Yeah. Look at
Okay,
this.
that's the new thing we want. We want
That's the one
Sienkiewicz
and
to
one
do an
from
Elsa Bloodstone.
Sienkiewicz to do Elsa. All right,
Yeah.
so at first I was
Oh,
going to
now
go
I
for
get
the
it. Yeah.
yeah,
But you don't
dude.
even see her hair, which is kind of her signature here. Yeah, I
Well,
wasn't even, I
no,
didn't even know who that character was, but maybe I'm just out of touch.
yeah, no, man. Elsa's got a very distinctive look. I love the hue. The hues is insane. This is the 1 in 50.
Of course, yeah.
That's just crazy. But hold on, it gets better.
He's super
Look at
talented.
this. Look at this David Yarden. Look at that. Look at the distressed cover. You see that?
Oh, wow.
I really
Dude.
had a hard time picking which one was the best until
Actually,
that
yeah,
barrel cover.
see, now here it clearly looks like Elsa. This I got. When of course I got the cover A too.
Yeah,
Because I think her hair like up like that is usually like a defining characteristic.
no, it definitely is. But yo, when that dropped, that right there, that skyrocketed immediately to number one. Yeah, Alice Never After. I'm reading Alice Never After. I love that series. Very entertaining.
Mm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he said good
He
last
told
week.
us to look
FOC is
out for
good.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just a great series. But yeah, I really believe that people are going to go ape shit over this cover,
Right?
and that's going to be the one. I'm curious to see how the market reacts to this cover and this book. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, that sounds
Yeah.
like a great team up, right? A lot of potential there. I mean,
Well,
there's obviously a tension, right? But then they can also be, yeah. So I like that
yeah.
conceptually.
I mean, after seeing how the Marvel Monsters show kind of came to an end, there was definitely something left on the table for this. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they made it.
You mean the Werewolf by Night Halloween special
Yeah, yeah,
on Disney Plus? Yeah, that was incredible, right? So they don't want to lose momentum around that. They want to definitely
absolutely.
capitalize on it, and so this is a great pairing.
And that's why I made it number one, because it's going to be coming out on shelves right around Halloween. So perfect time. Save
Oh
your money,
yeah,
guys. This is going to be
yeah.
great. Save your money. All right. So before we get out of here, let's do a quick recap. Number 10, Alligator Loki. He debuted on Marvel Unlimited Infinity Comics Online, but this is his first print run. Doali variant, and of course, Scotty Young. And number 9, the next Dark Droids Connecting variant. Number 8, Rose Besh is doing a series of DC covers starting with Batman 137. Get ready for next week's show. There will be a show because there's more heat coming next week. It's insane.
Wow.
Number 7, brand new character, villain maybe, Hightail Speedster versus Miles Morales, and Miles Morales number 10.
First appearance.
Yep, taking a chance with this one. Ablaze, brand new apocalyptic book. Great writing, excellent artwork. Can't wait to read it, see what it's all about. Number 6.
Cool.
Kill Your Darlings. Children and Monsters and Blood. I'm all in. 1 in 25 variant. That's just a stunning cover.
Absolutely.
Reva, the third sister, makes her comic book debut. She's already been on the cover, but this cover is awesome. My sleeper key so far introduces several new characters, new concepts, new villains, possibly new heroes. Captain Marvel, Dark, Tempest. He said the Hughes cover's already going for. We couldn't even make it to 100. We couldn't even make it to the FOC. It's already going through the roof. That's insane.
Wow.
That's insane. Sabrina, Teenage Witch, Annual Spectacular introduces a few brand new characters, a couple new witches. I'm all in on Archie Keys. You should too. And apparently the word is out.
But timing for all of these is right around Halloween then, right? So that means it's also for Sabrina sort of coinciding with Halloween drop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And I think there's going to be a couple more on next week's list, Halloween-based books that I saw that I really liked. But yeah, I really like this Sabrina. I like these Archie Keys, man. It's like a sub-genre of collecting for me.
Yeah.
Because mostly stores only get like 5 copies.
Did I ever tell you that I have 2 Archie books from the 50s where I have highest in census?
Really?
Yeah. And one of them is by a huge margin. Like I have an 8 or a 9 and the next highest one is a 5 or something.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I should show them off sometime.
Yeah, you definitely should. Yeah, I'm going to hunt this down right now. I guess it's too late for the Hughes. The Virgin is the one in 50, so it's already priced out of my range, dude.
You might find, you got all your secret little stashes. You might find one closer to ratio.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, there it is. That's a solid list.
Great list. Lots of fun stuff.
It was fun, right?
Yeah, a lot of fun. Again, I know how much work goes into this, J-Dub, so I certainly appreciate it. I'm sure your viewers do as well. But great list from my perspective. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, let's see. They said, yeah, for sure. I'm going after the ratios 4/4s. That's why this has hit number 1. I haven't even checked the market yet. Like I said, I don't control markets. I just make lists and then I go after them. I'm in the trenches with you guys, but I just have when I saw what Taboo's Werewolf by Night did, people love it. People love the character.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So there it is. It's just, let's go get it, right?
Yeah. I'm glad I got my first appearance of Werewolf by Night, Plug, in the vault.
Wow. Graded?
I do have a slab copy. Yeah, I got a couple copies. I have a nice slab of Werewolf by Night #1 too, which of course is not his first appearance, but I have a high grade slab of that as well. It's cool. Nice kickoff for that series.
Yeah, what is that? Moon Knight 32 is the first one, correct?
No, you got it flipped. Werewolf by Night #32 is the first appearance of Moon Knight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Werewolf by Night isn't like Monsters Presents or something?
His first appearance is in Marvel Comics. Actually,
Premiere? I'm just throwing you all off. Is it Marvel Premiere?
You did just throw me off. It's issue #2 of why am I blanking on it? It's from 1972. It's from when they very first loosened the code. So you remember the code was in place from like 55 through 71. Stan Lee put out that book where he published a Spider-Man book without the code because it referenced drugs. And then the people that had the code were like, maybe we need to loosen the code a little bit or else people are going to figure out that they can just publish without us. So they loosened up the code and they allowed horror and whatnot to come back in.
Good.
And
yeah,
so
Marvel Spotlight.
Marvel Spotlight.
#2.
I came to it just before you said it.
Plug, Jerry Conway, Roy Thomas. Man, what a great lineup of creators.
And that's where they were just left and right. They had all this pent up energy for doing horror comics. And they just, Marvel Spotlight 5 is first Ghost Rider, right? And so that was just nothing but hits the first 10 issues, man.
Dude, Son of Satan. How about that one?
Yeah, I got
Just the
that
fact,
too.
just having Satan on the cover of the comic book. I love it.
Yeah, that's a great period because they really needed to loosen up that code, and it created like kind of an explosion of creativity. I mean, that's when we got Swamp Thing's book dropping, and like so many things happening. So
Yeah, Marvel really cashed in on all the Universal monsters basically, and that was smart.
oh yeah,
Because they
absolutely.
already have a built-in fan base. Dracula, Tomb of Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and yeah, all that. Werewolf by Night. That
And
was
then
smart.
added to the lore with like the creation of Blade. Tomb of Dracula is where they
Yes.
drop Blade. So
Yes.
that's what's great too about, I think, Marvel particular, right? Like they copy stuff, but then they add something unique, right? And that's why I'll probably always be a bigger Marvel fan than DC. But yeah, it was a great period to be buying comics. Great period to go back and collect. They're still not crazy expensive, so especially if you're comfortable getting reader copies, go back and get those, boys and girls.
Yeah, I feel like the market right now is kind of softened. So if you got some cash,
it's a great time to buy right now, man.
It really is. I'm kind of low in cash myself because I've been stacking up all these FOCs. I got to stop buying so many damn books. I need to sell some books. I do. I need to do like an Instagram sale or something. I don't know. But all right, man. Yeah, I think this is a cool list. Next week is pretty damn big, but Werewolf by Night, Sabrina, don't sleep on it. Obi-Wan, you guys got the list. So yeah, I'll put up the full list tomorrow as usual. And hey, look at that. The sun's gone down. I can go outside now.
There we go. Great list as always. Very much appreciate being invited, J-Dub. Thank you. And on behalf of everybody, thanks for putting together the list.
All right, man. Catch you guys later.
All right. Take care.